Alrighty, welcome to a Saturday. We've got a pretty nice day out there. The clouds are kind of breaking away. We're seeing some sunshine. It was a pretty nice day yesterday. Clouds and everything and cooler, but there is some sun coming through. Okay, we're going to talk about the weather for the rest of the weekend. So this is Saturday midday, and then tomorrow Sunday, and beyond that, we'll do a little long range thing. And first thing I want to talk about and kind of get your attention on is Point Reyes. It evokes a lot of feelings when you say Point Reyes to people, like, "Oh, I love it out there." But I have to tell you, I kind of grew up in Marin. I don't know. There's people in Marin who've never been to Point Reyes. I know it's weird. People, they know about it. They've seen it in car commercials, but they don't really go out. And the reason is many of you do probably, because if you're watching this, you're like me. But you'd be surprised at how many people have never been out to Point Reyes. It's a national park. It was designated as such in the early 60s. And it is 71,000 square acres of beauty and untouchedness. Looks like California did in many parts of this area at Point Reyes. Looks like California did 200 years ago when Vizcaíno first named it La Punta. La Punta Reyes. So we're going to talk about Point Reyes. And the other point I wanted to make about Point Reyes, which is sort of, I understand this, it's not user friendly. It's a lot. So everything green here is Point Reyes, right? Everything in basically Western Marin. You can see the lighthouse up here is there. You can see Drake's Estera, which is one of my favorite places. Drake's Bay or Drake's Beach. Many folks think that Drake landed there instead of people thought that he was in the Bay of San Francisco, but when he first came around, there's many people who believe that he was in Drake's Bay, hence the name. Drake's Esteros, Money, Lemontor Beach, all the way out to Bolinas and Stinson Beach. All of this is Point Reyes, and it's magical as get out. But the thing with Point Reyes is it's not bite-sized. You got to know where to go. You can't. It's not like Yosemite where the trails everything's marked perfectly. It just isn't that way. Point Reyes is very what's the word? It's not, I shouldn't say not user-friendly, but it's not user-friendly. You got to want it. 71,000 acres. There's places to camp out. These are all my own personal pictures. We go camp out there all the time, as much as we can. You can figure out where those spots are. You need permits. Right along the coast, there's bathrooms. I think there's water at this campsite. I can't remember if there is or not. And sometimes when we go into this one, this is Coast Camp. I'm kind of lazy when I camp, so I like to take everything. So I take a bike trailer because you can bike in, and I ice chests and sleeping bags and stuff, and just go in for a couple of days. And there's surfing there too. Quite frankly, there's a lot of good secret spots in there. But it is home to 18% of all North American plant species. 18% of all. So if you're a plant guy or woman or person, Point Reyes, that's your spot, right? 18%, 45% of all North American birds at some point move through Point Reyes. I mean, look at that. Isn't that stunning? Oh my gosh. So yeah, and that's not unusual. And then there's the elk out at Point Reyes. They've proliferated. You've probably heard some stories out there, but if you've never seen elk in a herd, which many of you probably have not, when the males are mating and they make that call, it is stunning. The ospreys, the bald eagles. I mean, this place is a gem. The biggest gem, I think, is the Lighthouse, because it sits as far out as you can get, at least in our part of the world. This doesn't sit out as far as Cape Mendocino or Point Conception, but you're out at the end of the end. And when whales are moving, the grays or even the humpbacks, but the grays move by here all the time, summer and winter. And you get out there on a good whale day, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it's the best whale watching you'll ever have. These steps will make you think twice. I mean, you have to work pretty hard to get up and down these steps. Depends what your mobility is, but dude, just go. And it's not a quick drive. Point Reyes takes a little while to get to. So, but there's beaches like this. My wife and I, that's my dog, Carl, we'll get low tide in the middle of winter, run out there, and it's just you. I know it says make reservations for Point Reyes, if certainly Muir Beach and stuff, or at least plan ahead, but I've never seen a lot, unless you go to like Muir Beach or some of these places that are very impacted. It's in my experience, it's not that busy. So that's my experience. So that's Point Reyes, and I hope you get a chance to go out there. And this is it's one of the foggiest places on the planet and windiest places on the planet in terms of statistics. Windy conditions out at Point Reyes, foggy conditions, but that's the name of the game. That's what makes it so beautiful. That's why all the birds like it. And I believe, if you ever seen a puffin, puffins are awesome. I was out at Farallon Islands, which they nest out there. I think that's as far south as the puffin nests. Look up puffin in Google. But the puffins, apparently, I have never seen this, but they say out at Point Reyes, you can see them once in a while on the rocks. So that's a good thing. Okay, so enough of that. But think about Point Reyes and don't be put off by it. And the town of Point Reyes is the town of Point Reyes. There's bakeries and coffee and stuff, and it's kind of she, and it's fun. It's kitschy. It's awesome. But Point Reyes is everything else, right? It's not this little main street. It's 71,000 acres. All right, so there's Point Reyes right there. You can see the tip of it right sitting out there. You can see it one of the foggiest places in the world, at least in terms of cloud cover. And you can see the cloudy conditions. San Francisco starting to clear out. Most of the state looks pretty good right now. So as we go into the next couple of days, we're going to continue in this pattern, which is, this is a live picture at Ocean Beach. That's the fog. But you know what I noticed? First thing I noticed when I look at this picture is I think you can see my cursor, see the breaks. So the fog, the marine layer got so deep that the fog starts to spread out. So yesterday it kind of went away in many cases. Today it's doing the same thing. It's so deep, it's hard for it to stay together. Okay. And so there's moments of money today. There's moments of really awesomeness today in terms of sunshine. This is the surface map. We can check out current temperature, our current temperatures at this hour, and wind gusts as well. Should load up here in just a minute. Let's see. Come on. There's 62 degrees. That's out by Napa. That's the temperature. I don't know why I'm not getting thousands. Oh, there's populating. Okay, so Point Reyes right now is 57 degrees at gusts of 13 miles an hour. We can go into Mill Valley and hit the button and go middle peak of Mount Tam. It's kind of cool up there. It's 52 degrees up the top, but you're up over 2,000 feet. San Francisco out at the Golden Gate Bridge, 57 degrees. You go inland to Benicia, and it is not giving me a temperature, but it's windy. It's 68 degrees in Pittsburgh. Surface map, right? So what did we just do? By the way, this is what you should do every morning. Get up, look at the visible satellite, go to your Surfline cameras, go, okay, this is what's going on. If you're an active person, and then go to the surface map and go, I don't want to be cold, so I'm not going to go to Point Reyes today where it's 57 degrees. I'm going to go to Fairfield where it is 69 degrees at this hour. Of course, that could change. What do I got here? Oh, I got the surface map for you. I wanted to show you this. We talk about the pressure gradient. See, this is surface isobars, and so the wind blows perpendicular to those. So these are the isobars, right? And when they get close together like that, you get breezy conditions. So what I want you to watch is, as we go through time, there's some iteration of that. See how close they stay together? So this pattern is going to keep us, the temperatures we're experiencing now are going to be about the same. We're going to continue to see onshore winds, and I would say milder, a little warmer there, milder conditions right through the next week. And we're not seeing any rain anytime soon. So we're not looking at any 90s anytime soon. Looks like Tuesday is going to be the warmest day with a mid to upper 80s. Okay, so think about Point Reyes. There's all sorts of, you can Google anything. There's all sorts of resources. But just so you know, and back when I was young, I used to take my kayaks. You could do this back in the day, and I would kayak across from Marshall. I'd park the car. You could park your car there because you weren't on Point Reyes land. And I would paddle my kayak across and camp on the beaches over by Tamales Point. Is it Tamales Point? Yeah. It was awesome. This is like 20, 30 years ago. Okay, that's it. We'll see you back here tomorrow.